All right, good morning. Welcome back to Twin Stick Garage. Oh, not another sanding episode, Twin Sticks. Don't worry. Like I said in the last episode, I closed the chapter on that. Today I'm actually going to do, good movie. Today I'm actually going to do something fun. This is actually my favorite time of the year because this is the season for truck shows. And the biggest truck show of all in Western Canada is the Lesco Truck Show. I've gone to it for the last 3-4 years. And I have so much fun with it. There's so many great people that come out to say hi, and I get to bring the snowman truck out there. So that's actually next weekend. So my plan is today is to get the snowman truck out. I gotta grease it up, clean it up. It's covered in sanding dust, and get it all shined up, hooked onto the trailer, and get ready for next weekend because it's gonna be a good time. Well, let me see the cash.
Let me see your cash.
Big Enos's word is gold. All right, show him the cash. Actually, a friend of mine asked me, he goes, do you think you could actually speak the movie and talk it out front to back doing everyone's lines? And I probably could. I've never tried, but I usually get about 10-15 minutes in and my wife's like, please just stop. Okay, so first up, I'm gonna actually try out this brand new grease gun that a very special person bought for me. So I'm actually gonna give that a go and see how that works. Grease this thing up. I'd actually like to give it one more attempt. I really tried to move this fifth wheel forward, and last year I had no luck. So what I might do is, because it would be really nice to have it all the way forward like it is in the movie, and unfortunately I think this air actuator is seized. Now I was just running it on truck air, so what I might do is just hook it up directly to the compressor, put some more, so I have as much pressure as I can into it, and then put some more anti-seize or kroil and see if I can't get this thing loose, and then I'll hook onto the trailer and see if I can't bang it forward. But if I can, it's not the end of the world. What else do I need to do? I need to, like I say, clean it up. It's pretty dirty. Needs a little bit of shine. It's not too bad. I mean, it's just been sitting inside here. I took it out for a few rides this summer, but I really haven't. I've been so busy working on the Pete that I haven't really had a chance to enjoy this beauty, but I might take it for a little drive today. I mean, it's gonna need some fuel. I don't wanna run out of fuel. A couple other things I need to fix. Something that's been bugging my OCD is, if you notice that I don't have the pipes perfectly straight. They're kind of tilted in at the bottom there, so I might shim it up, move that forward. What else do I need to do? Something I noticed when the truck's sitting in the sun is, of course, I painted this whole truck with a single stage paint. First vehicle I've ever painted in my life. And it didn't turn out too bad, but when I first brought my wife out, Mrs. Twin Sticks, the wonderful, beautiful Mrs. Twin Sticks, she came out and looked at it and went, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it really wasn't. It was orange peel for days. So what I ended up doing was I wet sanded the entire truck down and then I buffed it. Now, the problem with the buffing is I was still new at that too. And what I would do at times is I'd kind of get off angle. I wouldn't hold the buffing wheel flat against the paint, and I got some swirl marks on the bunk. So I might take another stab once it's clean. My OCD doesn't like that it's not perfect, and there's a couple little swirls that I can see on the side of the bunk here. So I might try and give a stab at that. I got to clean out the interior, and yeah, like I said, I got to put a little more fuel in there because I sure wouldn't want to run out of fuel on the Anthony Henday on the way to the show. We're gonna buy a new rig. If you haven't seen this movie yet, go watch it. It's on Netflix. You can rent it on Prime. It's a good time. You'll be pleasantly surprised. Okay, Mark, like I always say, less talk, more work. Let's get this truck ready for the show. There, we'll put some high-powered air right into this thing. And it's a nothing burger. Okay. All Now that would have been too easy, right? I'm a professional. Don't go to eat. So I think these are obviously seized in here, but I think the actuator itself just isn't working. So when air is applied, what it should do is push these out, these two arms out, and then takes these little fingers, brings them out, and then allows the fifth wheel to slide. So I guess I can try, like I say, just soak it. I'll leave the air pressure on it. I wonder if I can use a pry bar or something and override the air actuator. Like maybe it got water in there. I suppose what I could do is shoot some kroil in the line. So some kroil would go inside the actuator as well. Like I can't figure out why this thing is not working. If you remember in that episode last year when I was trying to get this thing going, I was pounding the hell out of it right in there, trying to hammer it out with an air hammer, and it still wouldn't budge. But I'll give it another go, because I'd sure like to get it all the way forward, and then all the folks that keep commenting, when are you going to move the trailer forward, can give up. Haha, persistence pays off. So check this out. It's not perfect, but it is working now. But it doesn't go back in all the way. So I'm gonna keep just manually hammering them back in there. Now my worry is something seems off here, because this is tilted up and it's not allowing the little fingers to go all the way over the top. So I might have to try and bang this down or grind it down. I don't know what happened there. It's almost clearing, but yeah, no, that one's just not gonna go far enough out to actually release it from these little fingers. But getting closer. See, this is what it's supposed to look like on this side. It comes all the way out over top of this rail. So I think that's gonna be the next challenge, but at least the air actuator is actually actuating, so progress. So I'm grinding away, trying to get the last little bit of clearance. And then when I went to try and pry the metal down, I realized that there was some slop and the fifth wheel could actually come up and raise up. So I just put a little spacer in there. And so hopefully that's high enough to clear. Because again, I'll slide this all the way forward, disconnect the air, and then leave it there. Okay, so a little bit of air. Man! Almost. Okay. Now, yeah, it's gonna stay, well, maybe. Oh, it pulls that side back in. Ah, crap, I gotta leave the air on until I push it forward. S-U-C-C-E-S-S. Oh, that is awesome. I'm so happy I was able to move that forward. Now I'll have to get the old flat black out and paint over this rust. But now all you viewers out there that say, oh, the gap's too big between the trailer and the truck. There you go. All right, on to the next job. So as I was mentioning, I don't like how, you notice how there's about, I don't know, 1.5 inch gap there, and then it's almost touching down here. But then I realized that the pipes look straight. So I think it's just the heat shield that's kind of mounted on here crooked. So there's a couple bolts in here, and what I'm hoping I can do is, I don't know if there's a slot or not, but I'm hoping I can just loosen them off and then adjust this forward. I may have to drill some new holes in this bracket or open up those holes just to tilt it forward, but then I think that would solve the problem. All right, so this thing makes greasing a lot more fun and easier and quicker. It's essentially just a battery-powered grease gun, but instead of having to use the hand squeeze or the lever, you just pull the trigger, and it just pumps out the grease. So different speeds, just like all the other Milwaukee tools. There's two. Oh yeah, look at that! It really puts the grease to it. I think I'll stay on level 1 there, and then there's even a little light when you're trying to find the grease zerk underneath the truck. So this is a real treat. I'm looking forward to using it. Oh man, that is way easier than the old way. And this thing is definitely the ticket. If you got an old truck or tractor or something that needs greasing, get yourself one of these. That is so slick. And the other thing that I found, the only downside is it's awfully easy to over grease. But there was the slip joint on the other side there. I should really count out how many pumps this thing is given. The slip joint on the other side at the back differential wouldn't take grease, or it was difficult to take grease. So I just flipped it up to the second setting, the number 2 setting, and then it just hammered it in there. So it's got a lot of benefits for sure. Let's see if this one takes grease. If the camera would stay straight. Oh yeah. Let's see if I switch it to 2. It just loads it in there. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. And the nice thing is, once you get it on the grease zerk, you can just leave it sitting where it is, just reach back and pull the trigger. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Keep your equipment all greased up. It'll definitely last a lot longer and not give you the headaches down the road. And I've also mentioned before that whenever you're underneath your truck doing the grease work, is to look for any loose bolts. So when I put these caps on, I had marks that were straight. So then as they turn, that one I might want to check because it looks like it's not parallel to that one. So that's the kind of thing you're looking for, is any bolts that have loosened off, anything that's leaking, exhaust leaks, new oil leaks. I've known that for a while that this has been leaking here. So what I need is a new gasket. And what I'll do is when I swap the oil in this transmission down the road, that'll be the time I'll just take this cover plate off and swap the gasket. But you always want to keep an eye out, see if any lines are rubbing and ready to wear through, and just try and take a little peek. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be a mechanic. I mean, I'm not a mechanic, I'm a self-taught mechanic, but you look for something that isn't quite right, and then you correct it. Simple as that. Okay, I adjusted all the brakes, and yeah, I got my stuff off underneath the truck. I think I'm just about ready to go here. What I'll do is I'll start it and just see if there's anything going on underneath the hood. Oh yeah, I should probably reclock the steering wheel. We'll see if I get to it today. Good old Smokey Cummins. Nice. trailer just to see what the distance is. Why not? So in my typical conservative fashion, I didn't put it all the way forward because I wasn't sure if it was actually going to be too close to the cab. So I left it a couple notches back. And looking at it now, I probably could bring it closer as far as it'll go. I wonder if it would release. I guess now would be the time to do it because then all I have to do is back up. As long as I can get those fingers all the way out. All right, thanks for the ride, Blake.
Have a good one, Mark.
All right, take care, man.
Back to work.
We'll see you at the show.
Yeah.
Man, what a beauty. Chirp the tires in all 4 gears. That is sweet. Wish I had a muscle car. All right, so I ran into a bit of a roadblock there. So I went to air the truck up and pull the trailer forward, and it wouldn't release the brakes. I'm like, well, what's going on here? So I'm checking that I got air there. And so I did a little bit more troubleshooting, and I disconnected the line back here because I opened the valves on both of my reserve tanks and neither of them were bleeding out. So there was something was jammed. So I ended up disconnecting this line here, and there was airflow here. So then Blake arrived and he suggested that he figured that maybe we would go from the big line to this original smaller line. Maybe that fitting in there was some dirt and it just plugged it up. And sure enough, when I disconnected it at the relay, there was no airflow. So I disconnected it there, blew it out backwards. And now I believe we have air, I hope. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got air in that reserve tank. So I think the problem is solved. Oh yeah, we're good to go. So yeah, something little like must have been a little bit of dirt that snuck its way into the glad hand on the front of the trailer, just caused that small issue. But again, if you just follow it through, most of this stuff isn't very complicated, and you just kind of work your way down and work your way down to the solution. So with that, let's see if I can move this trailer forward. All right, let's take her for a little snort. See if we can't blow some of that dust off it. Down, 18 wheels rolling.
How come we doing this?
Well, why not?
Well, they said it couldn't be done.
Well, that's the reason, son.
That's good with friends. We're clear.
And four.
Westbound and down, 18 wheels rolling. Are we gonna do what they say?
Man, I love this. This beats sanding. take one of your rigs out. All right, we'll pull in here and get a little bit of go-go juice. We got a line up here at the pump, so I'm just gonna go around quickly with my topped on thermal scanner, and I just like to look to see if anything is out of the ordinary. Hubs are too hot, that type of thing. Looking for consistent temperature between each of them. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I find this this little thermal scanner pretty handy, even when I went camping, because I mean, you could always just touch the hubs to check your bearing temperatures, but I find this is fancier and way more fun. Yeah, they're all around 70. No big deal. Look at that trailer. Got a couple thumbs up already. How could you not like this trailer? Oh yeah, she's golden, pony boy. Oh, the exhaust is nice and toasty. Perfect. All right, Mark, that's enough playing. Let's get this thing home and wash it. Oh, that was a bit of work. But I picked that car wash up at Princess. It was a rebuilt gas engine one because the electric one I had was Mickey Mouse, and that one had a lot more power. So I think I got her pretty clean, got most of the bugs off. Looking pretty darn good if you ask me. Now, guess what I still got to do is the inside. And then, well, I like doing a little bit of touch up too. And everyone always goes, well, why do you paint everything flat black? Well, because when some paint comes off, it's real easy to touch up. So I like to go around the truck before the show and just touch up all the little areas on the undercarriage. I blew out all the, I'm gonna put some anti-rust down first and then the flat black to clean that up. And a couple little grease spots must have flung up from over greasing the drive shaft. So I just gotta clean those off. But for the most part, she's ready to go. Looking pretty darn good. Okay, I guess what I'd like to do now is maybe string some extra garden hose over there and wash the trailer. Just to give it a, I'm not gonna hand wash it like I did the truck. That'd be a little too much work, and I don't think it really needs it. It's just at the back at the wheels, and gotta blow that or take that bird nest out of the fake reefer. And then there's a bunch of cobwebs and junk on the back doors here. So I think just a quick rinse Might get this thing looking tip top, and then she should be ready for the show. This your rig, son? Open it up, let's see the manifest. Well, I'm placing you under arrest for the transport and alcoholic beverages across state lines without the proper permits. And that means, you dumb cowboy, you know trucking Coors beer east of Texas is bootlegging? This here's George's son. I figure I'll bring the ladder with me in case I need to clean the stacks or in case anyone else needs to borrow it. Now I got a bunch of chairs from last year. Boy, it would sure be cool to put a Trans Am and a Pontiac Le Mans in there and close the doors. Someday. Okay, there's only one thing missing on the back of the truck here is that bingo license plate that a fan sent me a while back that I've been meaning to mount on there. Now, I don't know exactly, oh, I didn't quite get that right. I don't know exactly where it goes on the truck, so let's go to the tape. Okay, so it goes kind of in the center. You see it there? Kind of in the center between the two bars. Now my style is a little different because I've got 2 bars, but I'll probably tuck it close to the left bar and that should be close enough. And there's the plate. There, I'm thinking something like that. Perfect. So I'll drill a couple holes and screw it in there. Final piece of movie correctness. Well, there's probably a few more things that I could add, but something different for this year at the show. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. And the fact it's got a 1977 sticker on there, that is just mint. Awesome possum. All right, I am running out of steam. I think I'm gonna put the snowman truck away in the shop, and I'll let all the water dry off of there, and then maybe tomorrow morning, Sunday, I'll come back and finish up all the little touch-ups, and it'll be perfectly ready for the show. Oh man, yeah, snowman is looking sharp. I'm happy with that. I'm happy I got the truck and trailer all ready to go. It's all fueled up. I'm so pleased I was able to get that 5th wheel slid forward, so everyone with OCD that didn't like that the gap was too big, that I finally narrowed the gap and got it a little more movie correct. Got it all washed down, pressed out. I still got the interior to do, but I think what I might do is, because I'm going to be going to the show early, so I'll probably just clean out the interior then and then wipe down any spots that still haven't been hit. I still got to do some touch up on the frame. But old Twin Stick's getting pretty tired. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Like I always say, don't ever forget, if you got it, truckers brought it. And yeah, with that, I'll see you next week at the show.